We have Melissa Senna and Kristin Mettke from Valley Electric Association here in studio with us today, and we're talking about a community solar project. So we talked earlier about who is Valley Electric and how these young ladies and their organization became green, and let's talk about more about the community solar project and how people can get involved in that, and how big of a service base, how many people or organizations or businesses in your service base are actually a part of the community solar project?
So the community solar project went into service about a year ago. We aren't currently having a direct subscription program just yet. All the power is going to our members right now, but there isn't an individual subscription yet. We're working on developing that program, and one of the things we're taking into consideration is the upcoming Energy Choice Initiative and how that's going to roll into that. That's going to be on the ballot this November as a constitutional amendment, and we'll need to make sure whatever program we put into place will allow us to emphasize that program and make best use of that community solar in an energy choice market.
Can you talk a little bit about energy choice, what that is for listeners that don't know?
So the kind of basic description is right now everyone that buys power from us and a energy provider like NV Energy, there are poles and wires that are physical infrastructure to get the power to your house. So that poles and wire is still going to remain with the utility. You'd still be paying a bill basically to a Valley Electric or a Nevada Energy for use of those poles and wires. But as far as who's actually powering and sending power across those lines is going to be open for choice. So right now it is, when someone buys power from us, they're buying it from Valley Electric. So they will actually have a choice to say, do I want to buy it from Valley Electric or do I want to buy it from this other energy provider? It opens up a competitive market rather than than having no choice of who that is. It's like a cell phone provider. You have choices of who you want to get your cell service from.
Sure. So when you turn that light on at home, there are three components that allow you to turn that light on. There's a generator, there's a transmission system, and then a distribution system. And the generator is what we're talking about. Valley Electric is a generator, also has transmission and distribution systems, I'm sure, as well as NV Energy does too. So when you pick your generator, which is the open choice, you will still need a way to get that transported to your house and or business, and a way for that to get distributed down from the transformers down to the voltage you're using in your houses. So that's the three components. So up for grabs, if you will be to select that generator. What's the benefit of being able to select who generates your power?
And saying it's a combination of generators. So Valley Electric doesn't actually physically own a generator. We have contracts with other entities that own generation. So we have everything from power from Hoover Dam to the community solar project to other contracts. So it's pooling those together to match the load profile of who we serve and what the best cost is. So the benefit is that by having a competition, others can come in and offer different products and services. So if someone does want to have 100% renewable energy, they could choose a provider that offers that. Maybe for someone like me who's not home during the day and doesn't run my heat or washing machine and some of my other appliances during the day, maybe I want to switch to a time of use type program or other options out there where maybe I get different pricing on the weekend so I can go do all my laundry on the weekend and save a little money during the week if my rates are higher.
Good. So will that be a part of the choice? Is because I'm not familiar with that part of it, that you could go pick a different kind of a rates structure as well?
So if you look at the markets in states that already have programs like this in place, like Texas, there are so many different programs out there. I think I've even seen one where you pay for energy Monday through Friday, and then Friday night at, say, 7 p.m. to Sunday at 9 p.m. your energy's free or a penny or something ridiculously cheap. Yeah. It's to encourage people, if there's a lot of industrial customers in that area using more energy during the week and you're driving up demand, if other people are using less and saving it for the weekend, it balances out the electric grid better and you can have lower rates.
what a lot of folks don't know is that there's monitoring of the grid at all times, and there's adjustments going on every 15 minutes. The generation is being either ramped up or scaled back.
Balancing the
balancing. And can you talk a little bit more about the California ISO and how that balancing works?
So we are a member of the California ISO, and although it is California, we are in Nevada.
You're right on the border of Nevada and California. You service both,
Yes.
actually. Yeah.
So the California ISO is looking at the demand and generation available throughout their entire footprint and balancing that. So they're looking at a large area and trying to make it more efficient. So if, say, over in the LA basin, they have excess generation, but we don't have enough over in our area, they're looking to balance all that out. So really the electrons on the power grid flow where they will, but they can monitor the system real time and make sure across a wide area among multiple utilities and areas that everything is balanced and that we're not going to have any shortages or excess capacity. And then they have a marketplace set up if there is excess capacity or shortages where the energy traders can buy and sell power.
Right. And so that's why you can get free electricity on the weekend in Texas, is that it's cheaper for them to let those generators continue to run rather than scale them down. And so they'll offer incentives in that way.
So it's like any big motor, I suppose. It takes a while to ramp it up, so slowing it down is not a good idea. You want to keep it going once you get it going.
Yeah, some generators run off of coal, some run off of natural gas, some are solar. It depends on the type of power being used to generate, and some scale down a lot slower than others.
So then VEA is kind of a broker of power sources, and then you offer those different power sources, including your own community solar project.
Yes, so we have a team that does power marketing just for us.
Wow, that's impressive.
So you could make money off of the excess generation here. That's the good
Sure.
news.
Well, my understanding is early on, you folks built a transmission line out to California, and so that is helping you grow and provide other services as well.
You must be referring to our 230 kV line.
Listen to her. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking
Yeah.
about. But I didn't know those specifics.
So we originally built a lower voltage transmission line in 1965 to serve the rural. So there was a transmission line that was adequate for the time to meet a small community that Pahrump was. The population was very low. It also ran out to the Nevada test site, the Nevada National Security Site as it's now called today, as they were ramping up different experiments and projects out there at the same time. So that was put in the 60s. And then as Pahrump began to boom and grow over the last 20 years, it necessitated the need to build another transmission line, a larger one. So the original 230 kV line out to Pahrump was built in about 1995, 1996, and that connected into a substation down by Boulder City. And there was a cold winter day, that line actually got shot out, and we realized in Pahrump that we don't have enough transmission lines in here to sustain reliability for our members. So that's when the second big 230 kV project started to begin its formation, and then that one goes around to northwest Las Vegas from Pahrump.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so you have redundancy. That's great.
So in total, it's 164 miles.
What's interesting and innovative that you've done, and this has spun off a whole new division for your company, is you've been able to lay fiber-optic cable along those same carriers, and we'll talk more about that when we come back next segment.
Yeah, fiber optics. I love that. So we'll be back to Shades of Green in just a minute after we take a little break.